Aloha, I'm Aaron Cummings from Aloha Church Assemblies of God, Lihue, Kauai, and I'll be speaking on the life of Jesus. Is Jesus real? And did he really exist as a person in history? There have been many claims about this, and some have even tried to deny the facts of what we find in archaeology. The New Testament is the most authentic and accurate historical document in the world, with over 24,000 early manuscripts and fragments. When compared to other historical writing, nothing comes close to the amount of evidence and the time span between the originals and the copies. This would include Plato, Caesar, and Aristotle, just to name a few. In Luke chapter 1, verse 26, the angel appeared to Mary, announcing that she will conceive and give birth to a son. She will name him Jesus, for he shall save them from their sins. She did not know how this would be possible, since she was betrothed to Joseph and was a virgin. But by the power of God, this will happen. She gave birth to a baby boy in the most humble place, in an underground animal stable, and all that was available to lay the baby in was a feeding trough. Luke chapters 4 and 5, Jesus heals many that are sick and diseased, even healing someone with leprosy and another who was paralyzed. Jesus did many miracles that were seen by many people, but the group that despised him the most were the religious leaders of the day, more commonly known as the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They attempted to discredit all that he was doing, and it was causing them to lose position and power. They challenged him daily, often questioning him of morality, government, and creed. There are still many today who question the validity of Jesus' miracles. Some have said that natural law cannot be broken, therefore there are no miracles. But they fail to realize that miracles do not break natural law, it supersedes it. All of Jesus' miracles benefited those directly and indirectly involved. Are there Pharisees and Sadducees today? Absolutely. After plotting and scheming, these religious leaders eventually got their way. With the help of one disciple named Judas Iscariot, Jesus is betrayed into the hands of these religious leaders. They bring Jesus to the Sanhedrin, which is like our Supreme Court, engaged in a kangaroo court to bring up Trump charges. Jesus is convicted of blasphemy and sentenced to death. They lead him away to be crucified among two thieves, and one of them asked Jesus if he was the Christ. And in Luke 23:42-43, the thief said to Jesus, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus said to him, "Truly I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." Jesus' crucifixion has been well documented, not only in the New Testament, but also as a standard practice by the Romans. Crucifixion was a Roman and not a Jewish form of punishment. The criminal was usually beaten and scourged, often resulting in the body swelling and bleeding. And that was done before crucifixion. It was a public spectacle where all were invited to watch, and it also served as a deterrent to those who attempted any type of capital offense, including insurrection. This type of torture is considered the worst because they would be bound to the cross with only a little step to push themselves up to avoid suffocation. It would take 2 to 3 days to finally succumb to death by heart failure. And what was unusual about Jesus' death is that he died almost immediately. The Romans often broke the legs of the criminals to hasten their death. But when they came to Jesus to break his legs, he was already dead. After Jesus died, he was taken down and placed in the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea. They wrapped him in a linen cloth and spices, as was the Jewish custom. Jesus was in a tomb for 3 days and 3 nights. In Luke 24, verses 1-3, it says, "But on the first day of the week, at early dawn, they went to the tomb, taking spices they had prepared. And they found the stone rolled away from the tomb. But when they went in, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus." You see, there are three theories that attempt to explain away the empty tomb. The first one is the conspiracy theory, where it says that the disciples stole the body and lied about the resurrection appearances. The second one is the hallucination theory, where the disciples projected hallucinations of Jesus after his death and thus mistakenly inferred his resurrection. The last and final one is the apparent death theory, which says Jesus did not really die on the cross, but was placed alive in the tomb, where he revived and somehow escaped and convinced the disciples that he had risen from the dead. These theories cannot explain the evidence in such a way as the resurrection. You see, the resurrection is not a resuscitation. The resurrection is not a revitalization. The resurrection is a physical, bodily raising from the dead, never to die again. And this is our hope, that one day, though we may die physically, we will be resurrected, never to die again. Loved one, our faith is founded on historical and archaeological fact. Our faith is from accurate manuscripts and fragments. Is Jesus real? Did he really exist as a person in history? The answer is undoubtedly yes, yes, and yes. Allah.